Hi, my name is Jim. I've been doing natural walking now for approximately 20 months. But before I tell you about that, I'll tell you about some years previously I hurt my back. I leaned over to pick up something heavy and I pinched a nerve in my back, and that caused me to basically drop to the ground. It's not uncommon, I understand. It gets so bad at times I can't get out of bed in the mornings. I've been laying on the floor unable to get up. It's very painful and very frustrating. When it first happened, I got treatment for it. It got fixed, but it comes back every now and again, and it comes back in various degrees of severity of pain. And when I first learnt natural walking, Dana's come over from Australia, and he taught a workshop on a Saturday of one weekend and on the following day, the Sunday. And I attended both workshops. I repeated on the second day. On the morning of the first day, I almost decided not to do the workshop because my back had played up again and it was really sore, to the extent I had trouble getting out of bed. It was stiff, it was painful, I had trouble standing and walking. But by mid-morning my back had freed up considerably, and by the end of the day, at the end of the workshop, I could still feel a little bit of pain in my back, but there was no impediment to my movement. I could move quite freely. The next morning when I got out of bed, I could still feel my back. It was sore again, but wasn't nearly as bad. And by mid-morning I had no pain in my back at all. I was moving freely, and I'd forgotten all about it. Well, in all the time since then, I've practiced quite diligently, nearly every day, not every day, and I very quickly went to about an hour and a half's practice each day. In all that time I haven't had one bad episode with my back, except for one occasion when I stopped practicing. I forget why, but for about 3 days I didn't practice, and at the end of that time I was sitting on the edge of a desk and I went to stand up, and I got a slight twinge in my back, which gave me a bit of a fright, and I went back to practicing more diligently. As I say, since I've been practicing I haven't had one bad episode in my back, and most of the time I just forget about it completely. I'm still fit, I still lift things. In fact, I work in a job where I'm required to lift sacks of stock food and stuff, and they're up to 25, sometimes 40 kilos, and I have no problems at all, none whatsoever. Another problem I used to have was my hips were starting to ache, and I expected to have to undergo hip replacement surgery at some time. My brother has had it done, and my hip was getting to the point where I couldn't lay on it at night. If I tried to lay down on it, or at any time, I would have to roll over within about 5 minutes. It was just too painful. Well, since I've been doing the natural walking, I have no pain whatsoever. I realised one day I'd forgotten all about it, and all the pain had faded away. Sometimes, often after walking, I walk a little bit stiff, and I think that comes from my hips. But it's getting to the point where I don't notice it at all. It's getting better and better continuously. And another funny thing is that I've always needed a lot of sleep. I've always had about a requirement for about 8 hours sleep per night. Since I've been doing natural walking, if I wake up during the night, which I'll often do, I just go straight back to sleep. It's not a problem. I can always sleep very easily. But since I've been doing natural walking for a while there, it started happening that I'd wake up at say 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and I couldn't go back to sleep. And I realised after a while, because I'm pretty quick, that I didn't need as much sleep, and now I regularly have an hour and a half less sleep each night. So I might go to bed at 11, and I'm up by 5:30 in the morning, and it's like I was having 8 hours of sleep a night. It's a marked reduction in the amount of sleep I need. It's very noticeable, and as I say, I don't notice things that much really. But for me, it's been fantastic. It's part of my life now.